You're one of the most optimistic of our Scottish pundits, but I think even going to you and asking for some semblance of light at the end of that Arsenal tunnel, it's almost difficult to find anything, isn't it?
It's bizarre. I'm not sure what their plan is, Dan. I mean, when they sacked Unai Emery, he was 1 point off the top four and he got them to a Europa League final. Then you decide to get rid of Unai Emery, who's got a good understanding of the game, very experienced manager who's been around the block. If that's your call, go and get one of the elite managers, like we were saying about Thomas Tuchel. You go elite. They've gone and give a manager his very first job in football. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And I'm not an advocate of sacking managers. But I got asked the question today, what should Arsenal do? And I just said, I'd go all out for Brendan Rodgers. And someone said to me, why would he leave Leicester to go to Arsenal? And I'm trying to, like Louis said before, I'm trying to grasp on to the fact that Arsenal is still a massive football club and a huge name across the world. But the way it's going, teams like Leicester are getting above them. I'm not saying West Ham are above them, and they are in the league. But in terms of size of football club, Arsenal are going backwards. So their next decision is a massive one. And he's got to make sure, Mikel Arteta, that he gets a good result. And when I say a good result, a win against Norwich and a win against Burnley. That's their next two games in the Premier League. Otherwise, there could be another change.
Gav, I've seen Antonio Conte already linked to Arsenal. Is there any truth in that, or is that people just putting, well, here's a manager without a job, here's a job that's going to be available soon? That makes sense.
Yeah, I kind of feel it's like that. I mean, my understanding is, Don mentioned Norwich and Burnley. Look, they played Chelsea and City in their last two games, right? So you weren't looking for points, you were looking for performance and improvement. There certainly was, the boys are saying, there certainly was no improvement in this game. But to rip up the script now, I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to see where they are in those next two games and see what Arteta wants to do. And remember, he's also had a whole bunch of injuries and players unavailable and whatnot, and see where that takes them. I think the difficulty, though, to go back to Conte, is that Conte, I think we all know, demands investment in the team. He demands money. And I think Arsenal are pretty hamstrung right now because of all those massive contracts they gave out to Aubameyang, to Willian, to guys like this. You know, you give huge contracts to people who are in their 30s, you pay the price. And on top of that, of course, you have Lacazette too, who still hasn't renewed. He could well leave as a free agent in June. You know, that's not a great situation to go in because then you got to chuck more money at it. And of course, they spent money this summer as well on Odegaard. So, you know, you put those things together. I don't know that the appeal is there for Conte unless the Cronkies are willing to pull out the checkbook again. I'm not saying he's just a checkbook manager, but where Conte goes, you know, investment has to be there. Otherwise, he'll hold up for another big job.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.